Hey, it's your favorite realtor, Nick Belmore here, and I wanted to answer some questions today. And one of the things that I have heard from a couple of people now as I'm going forward into 25 is Grand Rapids and the greater Grand Rapids area still a great place to invest? Or have we missed the boat when it comes to investment here in West Michigan? And I'm going to tell you, for me, this is an easy question to answer right out of the gate. But I wanted to make sure that not only was I going to answer this question, and oh, by the way, let's kill the anticipation right away. The answer is not only yes, but it's absolutely it is. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the top 5 reasons why it still makes sense to invest in Grand Rapids and the West Michigan area. Okay, let's dive into our content. Number 1, when it comes to our reasons, why does it still make sense? Why is West Michigan still a great place to invest? You won't be surprised to find out a lot of it comes into population growth. That's right, West Michigan, Grand Rapids specifically, have had amazing population growth over the past 10 years. And so while we look at the state of Michigan as a whole, we've seen population growth in the entire place. Really, the state has been in an uprise when it comes to population growth. However, when we look at the state of Michigan, the growth rate has been 1.4% for the state of Michigan. So not bad, it's definitely in the right direction. Now, let's make a comparison. And I'm not just talking about Grand Rapids, but let's talk about the entire county. Kent County itself, 9.2% growth rate in comparison to the rest of the state at 1.4. So amazing growth rate happening here in Kent County. But what about its sister? What about Ottawa County? Well, Ottawa has actually had a 12.3% growth rate, way higher than anything else we've seen in the area. So if the question is, hey, should I be investing in this area? Just because it's growing and people are coming here faster than any other area in the state of Michigan tells us that point 1 is an absolute yes. Second thing that we have to look at for the great reasons to invest here in Grand Rapids and all of West Michigan, we're still seeing a fair appreciation rate. It won't come as a surprise to a lot of you that we have seen a little bit of troubled times in the real estate market. And there's a couple of reasons. Number 1, obviously low inventory has made it tough for some of our buyers. Higher interest rates absolutely have too. However, when you start to look at our area, you still see that West Michigan, compared to so many other places in the nation, is extremely affordable. And while we might not be seeing some of the explosive growth that we were seeing in the faster markets of the COVID times with the 2.9% interest rates, even today, we have seen a 3.8% growth rate here in West Michigan. Now keep in mind, places like Texas, places like Florida, even certain areas on the lower East Coast are seeing declines in pricing. Not us. We're still staying steady even with the higher interest rates. And of course, a lot of that comes into the fact that our housing supply has not outstripped the demand of our area. Number 3, when we start to look at the reasons of why Grand Rapids and all of West Michigan still make sense, low vacancy rates on rentals. The average cost for a rental for a 3-bedroom in our area is around $1,620 a month. So still strong rates in comparison to costs here in West Michigan. On top of it, we have one of the lowest nationwide vacancy rates. And why? Because there's no doubt we are still well undersupplied when it comes to housing, especially in comparison to the population growth rate here in the area. When we put these factors together, no doubt it shines a whole lot of sunshine on the investment market for 2025. On top of that, we see a lot of investment in multifamily homes, in apartments, new duplexes popping up all over the area. Why? Because the gap is so big in that need for rental housing that you're seeing it being done in mass all over Grand Rapids. But guess what? It's not enough to fill the gap, which means we're still set to see rents begin to increase as we get into 2025. Number 4. when we start to look at the reasons that it still makes sense to invest in Grand Rapids and West Michigan. And a lot of that comes into the infrastructure and the building projects that are coming to our area. Now, number one, there is a record number of new developments when it comes to residential, but that's not it. We also have the amphitheater coming to downtown. We have the soccer stadium coming in downtown as well. Another thing that we have going on right now is the project with restoring the rapids as they start to bring the Grand River back to its natural state, eliminate the dams. And why is this valuable to the public? Because it's going to open the river up for a lot more recreation, and they're also providing a lot more access to the Grand River. If you wanted to canoe or kayak down the river now, you would have to go over the dams, which for a lot of people, totally unsafe, not what they're into doing. When they restore the rapids, you'll be able to go ahead and float all the way through on the rivers. Of course, there's also the museum expansion going on. There's a lot of money going into the park system here. Of course, the amazing farmers markets in every city all around our area. Just a few of the things that are constantly going on, constantly improving here in West Michigan. Last but not least on our list of 5, without a doubt, it's favorable economic forecasts. When you start to look at the professionals, when you start to look at economists, when you start to look at a lot of the reports that economic publications are talking about West Michigan, everyone comes to the same conclusion. The fact that we have a strong, diversified economy, the fact that we simply are slightly undersupplied when it comes to housing, and the fact that there's a lot of room here in this area to continue to expand, all points to factors that are going to continue to grow in our area. When we start to look at it, another one of those factors that's super important for a lot of people is the fact that the cost of living here is fairly cheap in comparison to the rest of the nation. If you were to take the national average, we're about 10% below that on the cost of living. So that attracts a lot of people, a lot of outside investment into our area, and no doubt that will help to continue to spur things forward. When you combine that with the amazing lifestyle here in West Michigan, from a ton of things to do to the natural beauty of our area, all the way into just the amazing culture we have here in Grand Rapids and West Michigan, it continues to be a place that's going to draw people in and give them a ton of value. So there you have it, 5 reasons why we know West Michigan is going to continue to grow and be an amazing investment if you're interested in investing in real estate around the nation. And if you are thinking about finding the right home for you, or maybe a rental property, getting into the business of investing and help becoming a landlord, reach out to me. I would love to help you on your journey. As a seasoned landlord and investor, I can definitely point out some pitfalls to watch out for and help you along the process, from making the right choice to putting in place the right systems to make sure that your rental is going to be a success. My contact information is in the description below, and I would be more than happy to help you on your journey of building wealth here in West Michigan.